Hey, it's been a big week here at i3D Themes. Lots of stuff happening every day. And so I'll just get right into it. Hey, good afternoon. It is Brandon Devnich. Let's see if we can pull that up. There's my little name. From i3D Themes with this week's interactive number 65, where I share what we're passionate about and what we've been working on in the i3D Themes Design and Code Labs. Nothing going on in the Design Lab this week because my partner in crime, Colin Fraser, is off in sunny Florida, enjoying Disney World. I think it's in the 80s, whereas here in Victoria, BC, I think the translation is somewhere about 45 degrees Fahrenheit, about 8 degrees Celsius, and wet. So anyways, I hope he's having a great time, and I hope he comes home soon. Tuesday, I think, is when he's planned back at work. So it's been a bit of a crazy weekend that I've been handling everything that I normally handle myself, as well as all of Colin's inbox. And, well, when you don't normally handle that sort of stuff, it takes a little longer to get through all of that. Every day my inbox has been very full. So Monday was not too bad. Tuesday, I took a lot of phone calls and a number of tickets came up this week as well about people when they are switching over to securing their site with HTTPS, encountering a problem where their pages are not completely secured. Through whatever reason, there are resources in the page that maybe are using the HTTP protocol. So I'd written a blog post sort of about this back in June. I thought it was time that I revisited it and specifically gave information about how to deal with this problem where web pages are broken after you go to secure them with HTTPS. So I did that. I posted that out to Facebook and all the rest of our social media channels on Tuesday. So if you're thinking about securing a web page in the next little bit, entire website, take a look at this tutorial. You'll find it on our Facebook feed. You'll also find it in our blog. It's called How to Fix a Broken Web Page When Securing with HTTPS or a Secure Certificate. It's important to probably read up on that before you actually go and flip the switch, so to speak. So that was Tuesday. On Wednesday, woke up to, well, maybe not woke up, but as I was about to head on into the office, I got a notification that, bloop, one site goes offline. Bloop, another site goes offline. Oh, good, it's going to be a good day when sites start going offline at the beginning of the day. Turns out that our DNS provider, who handles, I think, hundreds of thousands of websites with this particular DNS system, everything went offline. It took a couple hours for things to come back online. And when that happens, there's not much you can do when all that stuff is in somebody else's hands. Still waiting on the report to find out what had happened, but preliminary reports say that it was multiple failures on multiple switches, whatever that means. So in any case, that was my Wednesday. And then, while talking to a lot of developers this week, just on the phone, I found that maybe not all the information that we have that should be getting to developers is getting to all of the developers. And, understandably, you might have a developer that works on a project in June and maybe it doesn't use us so much in July and August, then comes back in September, but there was some information in July and August that maybe they could really have used and maybe not getting all that information. So what I decided was that we were going to set up a Facebook group for developer support. And so it's now there. It's at i3D Themes on the left-hand side. If you go to groups, there's a i3D Themes developer group. So if you're a developer or you work on multiple projects during the year, you're working on hobby sites, or maybe you're in charge of IT for a school board, you're working on a number of different websites, it's probably a good idea to be signed up to this group. It's just for people that use our products, our WordPress themes, website templates, website plugins, that sort of thing. For giving you the information that we put in one place that you're going to need. It's probably going to be more technical information than we typically give to our average consumer in the tutorials area, but specifically information about this blog post about HTTPS and how to fix those sort of things so that if we send it to the developer group, everybody's going to see it. And the nice thing about groups with Facebook is that when we put something there or somebody posts something there, everybody sees it. So there's going to be no spamming. It's not going to be a place where we're going to be spamming people with advertisements. It's going to be for information. It's going to be blog posts that are somewhat technical. Maybe we'll be talking about page speed, SEO stuff, that sort of thing. That it's important that you get the information so that you can disseminate it and apply it to your own clients' websites. It will also provide a way for other developers, if they have sort of general questions, maybe a question about, hey, has anybody used an e-commerce plugin for WordPress that really, really works in this situation? And maybe there are other developers that can chime in. And what we'd like to see is a developer community where everybody is supporting each other and making the community stronger and adding more value to it, so that if you're a part of it, maybe you're going to get something out of it. So that is now live, and so if you are a developer, please check that out. Okay. Also, today is December 1st. That means two things. That means I'm no longer sporting a mustache. My wife is very happy about that. I was growing a mustache in support of Movember to help bring awareness and support for men's health issues and raise some funds. We did that. Colin, in fact, he did that as well, but he shaved it off before he could get a photo. He said he needed to look like his passport photo. I'm like, biometrics. I'm sure you'll get past. But, so, it's gone. But you know what that means? It is now time for the December beard. Actually, I was probably going to go back to the beard a little bit. I don't know. I just get lazy throughout the week, and before you know it, got the old woodsman look going on. So that's one thing for December 1st. The other thing is that today is the official launch of our Pegasus Accelerator Automated Google Page Speed Optimization WordPress plugin. That title is it's wider than this screen, right? What it really means is that it's a plugin for WordPress that optimizes your entire site, or possibly your entire site. It could be a small subset of pages, depends on what plan you sign up for. It is, optimizes it for page speed. Now, what page speed is it's a sort of I'm going to call it a subset of things that you should do for, get rid of that little guy there, for optimizing your page for the fastest possible load time. Now, it used to be, and it's right now it's specifically just for WordPress. We will be bringing it on board for just general templates probably in the next 6 months. But it used to be that all you had to do to make sure your website was fast was use a page caching plugin. And there's a lot of page caching plugins out there. And they say, oh yeah, we make your website faster. Okay, you make the initial page load fast, but if that's all Google wanted you to do, their Page Speed Insights tool would only say, look at one metric, which is your server response time. And they don't. They have like 12 different things. So Pegasus Accelerator looks at the entire picture and applies the required changes to your pages. It optimizes images. It minifies content. It defers the appropriate content to the right places of the page. It builds critical above the fold CSS and automatically injects it into your page so you don't get the flash of unstyled content. It turns on gzip compression. It handles a browser leveraging browser caching. There's a whole slew of things that it does automatically. Now, Google is, they offer a consultation for several $100s. There's a couple different WordPress theme providers that are charging several $100s for manual optimization and what happens when you go and change things or get new images in your pages. So that one-time shot is typically, the industry standard is about $300, $350 US. Pegasus Accelerator, you can get 10 pages. If you have a 10-page website, we have a package for 10 pages at $20 a month. And anytime you change your page, it re-optimizes. Anytime you add more images, it re-optimizes. And so it saves you an unbelievable amount of time if you were to manually do it yourself. And can you? With WordPress, it's really very, very difficult to do. We've taken sites with Pegasus Accelerator from 57 up to 97 just by turning it on. And we're going to be continually going through it and seeing if we can eke out 1 or 2 more percent to get that as close to 100% as possible. Now, it isn't possible to get to 100% in all situations, such as if there's like Google Analytics, which has items that can't be cached, or other different types of things that can't be cached. But we do have some concepts, some magic that we think we're going to try working here in the first quarter to get it as close to 100 on every site as possible. Again, it's not going to be, but if we can get you above 85, if we can get you above 90 out of 100, basically if we can get you into the green as far as Google is concerned, which is 85 or above for your entire site, I think you'll be doing really, really well. Because Google wants your pages to be as fast as possible for a couple reasons. First of all, they want to provide search results to people, for people that are searching in their index, for websites that are as fast as possible. Why? Well, think about it like this. They used to be concerned up until maybe 2010 with desktop. Everything was desktop. There was no such thing as a mobile responsive website. And then mobile phones started becoming ubiquitous. As I think it's 2015, over 50% of search is done through a mobile device. Now, that's a little bit skewed for the worldwide look at things because in industries such as India, where everybody has a phone, you're going to have more depth of adoption for mobile devices. Whereas in the United States, your desktops are still quite a bit, more prevalent, and maybe not everybody uses mobile search as much. But that said, I saw a stat that said something like there are 350 million mobile plans in active plans in the United States. And there's like 380 million or more people in the United States. So what does that say? It says most people have a mobile phone. So that's why Google is really, really going hard at making sure websites are mobile responsive and that they load fast, because things load slower on LTE or 3G than they do when you have a desktop connection hooked into fiber or high-speed internet or whatever. How many, 50 megabits per second. When you're on LTE, it's something like 3 megabits per second. So things load slower on a mobile phone. So that's why it's extremely important to make sure that the pages that you have are being served as possible. Because if you're on a desktop, the time difference between a typical page load of a page that has been optimized and one that hasn't is a little imperceptible. It's about 1 to 2 seconds. And it's really hard to judge that if you're not looking for it. But on a mobile device, it is totally different. Okay, way bigger impact. So as mobile devices become a more and more important thing in North America, certainly you're going to see that you absolutely must have your site optimized for page speed. And again, it's not just having a page caching plugin anymore. It's everything. You got to look at the entire picture, and that's pretty technical. And that's why we built this plugin, because we realized some of our sites were, like i3D themes. There are parts of that where it's not super optimized. And I had to manually optimize our sites. I'm like, how do we do this? Once we figured out how to do it, we're like, can't we just automate this? And in fact, that's actually what Colin said to me back last August. He was doing a lot of optimizations of websites, manual optimizations. He said, I wish this were just like, it just takes a long time. Couldn't we automate this? I said, hold on, I think we can do that. And I came up with our Numo Accelerator plugin for traditional websites. And that's a plugin that you can get for if you just have a regular HTML website. And so it does the same thing that Pegasus Accelerator does, except Accelerator does it faster because it uses Pegasus system to offload all the heavy lifting that the Accelerator plugin for WordPress needs to have done in order to make sure your entire site has been optimized. Anyways, that's getting back. That was the description of what Pegasus Accelerator is all about. I think that took about 5 minutes. That's why today is important, is because we are now officially out of beta. It is available to the public. You can sign up and try it out. You can sign up and try it out for 14 days, no charge. We think it's so awesome. You're going to just love it. In fact, you're going to be like, I get 14 days free? Sweet. But we want you to try it out. And if you come up with anything that we haven't come up against, we want to know about and try to make the product even better than it is, which is going to be pretty hard because it's pretty stinking awesome. So December 1st, woohoo! And coming up here in the next month, we'll be releasing the affiliate program for that. So if you're a developer and you want to be making some extra cash on the side, we're going to have a pretty sweet affiliate system as well for that, so that you can make some cash on the side for that. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me, paying attention through my rant there. That's been my week here. I can't wait for Colin to come back. Please come back, Colin. If you're watching this live, make sure to get on that plane, right? So if there's anything in this video that you think maybe somebody might like or need, please by all means share it. Or if you want to comment on something I've said here or have a question about anything I've said, please by all means comment. We'd love to hear from you. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend. This weekend, if you saw it last year, you'll know what I'm talking about. This is the weekend that I take the family to go on the traditional Christmas tree hunt. This is where we drive for 50 kilometers to a very magical Christmas tree farm. It's like 10 acres. And we go hunting for the perfect Christmas tree. Once we find it, I hand cut it down. Actually, it takes probably 15 minutes while I have to take a whole lot of breaks because you're getting down on your knees, cutting it. And then I haul it through the forest over my head, throw it up on the roof of the vehicle, tie it down, make sure it's wrapped up with Christmas lights, plug them into the inverter in the truck so that they're lit up as we go down the highway on the way back home, and we have a jolly old time. So that's the Christmas tradition. We've done that since our kids were, I think, in utero. And so we do that every single year. And this is the weekend coming up. It's the first weekend in December. We always do this on the Sunday. There's not going to be any snow, but there might be some rain. Anyways, I'm going to record that again this year, and I'll do another Christmas video and show you what our tradition is all about. Might have that done for you before next week. I'll post it up to our Facebook page anyways. But hope you have a fantastic weekend and week ahead planned. We'll talk to you again next week. All right, bye-bye.